agenda. We'll have previous minutes, students and school presentations, parent groups, open to the public, superintendent's report, correspondence and board comments, personnel agenda, consent agenda. We will not be using the second executive session, and we will adjourn the meeting. There are a few corrections on the agenda. On page 3, under B, instructional resignations, the second employee, Constance Kane, the date is not 1/15, but 1/2/2013. On page 4, D, instructional leaves of absence, the first employee, Laura Bryhoff, the dates are January 3rd, 2013 through January 31st, 2013. On page 5, F, appoint leave replacement teachers. The second employee, Constance Kane, the date is January 3rd, 2013 through January 31st, 2013. And last correction is found on page 7, under M, new non-instructional appointments. The first employee, last name Okan, the salary is $32,273. Okay. Previous minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes of the previous regular meeting held on Monday, November 19th, 2012 is circulated.
Second.
Comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Second previous minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes of the previous special meeting held on Monday, December 3rd, 2012 is circulated.
Second.
Comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Do we have any students or school presentations tonight? Don't see any. Any parent groups? Open to the public, 3 minutes per speaker for no longer than 60 minutes. Who would like to speak?
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Dr. Lovely, if you could take me and pass that.
Hi. As most of you know, my name is Dawn Clemens, and I teach social studies at Beacon High School. I'm also the vice president of the Beacon Teachers Association, and I'm the editor of our newsletter, Between Assignments. I know that Kim has mentioned our newsletter at previous Board of Ed meetings, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of background about our publication. Between Assignments was started 35 years ago in 1977 and has been published on and off ever since. Recently, our newsletter has won numerous journalism awards from NYSUT, which is our parent organization, including last year when we won the Solidarity Award, which is the second highest journalism honor NYSUT bestows on a local union publication. Tonight I've handed out our latest edition, which was completely dedicated to professional development for our BTA members. The articles discuss how to take control of your professional development by creating a PLN, which is a professional learning network. There are articles about how teachers can use resources such as Twitter and Pinterest, as well as where to find information on the Common Core state standards, and using TED Talks to enrich both student and teacher learning. One of the biggest influences on the articles in this edition was something called Ed Camp, and it was held in New York City. They actually have them all across the world, which is also described in the newsletter. The BTA is hoping eventually to take some of the ideas from this event and to basically incorporate them and maybe do some of our own professional development with our own members. Just on a personal note, I would like to say that I as a teacher, I really love professional development, and I've definitely really enjoyed our superintendent's conference days this year. And with all the new rules and regulations that are being passed down by the state and the national governments, I know that many of my colleagues feel the same way as me, that professional development is more than just something for us to add to our wish list, but it's a true necessity. And I sincerely hope that whoever follows Dr. Walkley in the position of assistant superintendent will share her passion for professional development as well. I hope that you all enjoy the newsletter, and maybe you guys would consider writing something for it at some point. We would love to have your contributions. Thank you.
Our most heartfelt congratulations
Well, thank you.
for a job well done. And I know that you do great work, Dawn. And I appreciate that the influence of Dr. Walkley
She's
in the
amazing.
district. We know that teaching and learning is alive and well at Beacon. And we appreciate the great work of all our teachers.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Beverly Randolph. I come to you as a parent of graduates from the Beacon City School District and also as a substitute teacher here in Beacon as well as in Poughkeepsie High School. I am here to speak with you about the possibility of raising the salaries for substitute teachers. At this time, the salary range has been $65 per diem. It has been at that rate for some time now. And although it is always appreciative to have a place to come to and a position to be in, especially with Beacon being my home district where I live, but it would certainly be far more helpful to have something that is more representative of the economic times. And at this time, $65 a day is not necessarily as appealing as it could be if it were higher. The other reason for considering increasing the rate is that for other districts that are within Dutchess County, their rate is higher, which makes it more appealing to be there and makes it less appealing to come into Beacon. So I will open the idea and introduce to you something that I'd like you to think about and to discuss. Perhaps you can put it into practice so that we would see an increase in the per diem amount for substitute teachers. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to commend Dawn for all of the hard work that she put into that newsletter. She squeezed one article out of me, that was it. I can't imagine, I know how long that took me, can't imagine the hours. Actually, she did tell me, and it's pretty mind-blowing. So we're going to continue to do that, and she doesn't have a choice now, so she produced that, so there'll be hopefully many more to come. So thank you again, Dawn. I have a note that I was asked to read tonight, but before I do, I'd like to share that this weekend I had the opportunity to see the Beacon Players' performance Once Upon a December. And just to give you a little background on it, a few weeks back, Mr. Devine, who's a special education teacher at the high school, and he is the drama person, he came up to me and he says, "Hey, Kim, I need a couple of kids. You think you can find anybody for me? We're going to, we want a youth cast. Not a big deal." He says, a couple days, a few hours. I said, "Yeah, sure, your son want to be, yeah, okay, whatever, sounds good." And so, I rallied up some parents and, soccer team, basketball team, whatever. We got some kids, 6 and 7 year olds. And so, we initially thought it was going to be a couple of hours, which turned into a couple of nights and then a couple of weeks, and it was 3 weeks going strong. And then 1 hour turned into 2 hours to 3 hours, and the parents are sitting, sleeping, and the kids are running all over. So that's kind of where it went. But I will tell you that the 1 or 2 days turning into 3 weeks, I think the most fascinating part for me as a teacher here was to be able to kind of have another hat on and see it from a parent perspective, being backstage with our high school kids and watching them, relate with the younger kids. And you're talking 18-year-old, 16 and 17-year-old high school kids with 5 and 6-year-old kids. It was just truly amazing to watch the mentoring and the camaraderie that they built amongst each other. The younger kids looking up to the high school kids and kind of idolizing them like they were stars. And it was really pretty fascinating and brilliant, actually, because I told Mr. Scarone and PJ, you probably sold another 50 or 60 tickets, the grandparents and everybody came out. The second part of that was spending time with the parents. typically I don't spend time with parents of 5 and 6-year-old kids at the high school. And so I was able to, walk them around, and they saw the back of the theater, and they were just blown out of the water by all of what we have here and what goes on. And so, the conversation sparked up, of course, about budgets, and, chimed right in. So I said what I had to say. And so it was neat because they didn't really have a connection of what their taxpayer dollars do to the high school, because everything's, surrounding around the age of their children. So that was really kind of neat. And so they asked if I would read a note to all of you, and so I said I would. On behalf of the parents of the youth cast that took part in the Beacon Players production of Once Upon a December, we would like to extend our gratitude to Mr. P.J. Devine and Mr. Anthony Scarone for the opportunity to have our children participate in such a wonderful show. As parents of children in the Beacon City School District, we believe this kind of program is invaluable for our children, and we know you do as well. We would like to thank the board for supporting this program and hope these kinds of opportunities continue in the future. You have our support. Sincerely, Julie Murphy, Nicole Palo, Ramos, Donna Peterson, Teresa Robinson, Lori Mihalis. I'd like to congratulate Kara, but before I do, I'm going to track her down tomorrow and find out what she does to get so many teachers to come to the board meeting, because I've been trying. And so she's got some magic touch there. I really want to congratulate her on her tenure tonight and wish her much success in her future and her longevity here in Beacon. I'd also like to congratulate Mr. Eric Romanino for his accomplishment of being selected as the Section 1 Athletic Director of the Year. And for those folks, Bill, looking at you, Mary Beth, looking at you. For those two that have been here for quite some time, and I'm talking 20 plus years, you know where we've been and where we've come in terms of athletics. Back in the old high school with, 10 sports, only varsity teams, everyone on the academic and eligibility list, and so on and so forth. So the sportsmanship awards that we've won, all the programs that we have, the great coaching, the great athletes, all attributed to a great leadership in athletics. And so I commend Eric for all he's done for us. It makes a difference. Thank you.
Would anyone else like to speak?
Wasn't it great to listen to what the student athletes, their accomplishments? I mean, they're good-looking kids, they're smart, they're talented. It's just wonderful. That's why we're here. And it was really nice. Thanks, Kim, for your kind words. To see Eric recognized for all the things that he's done. It's a big thing in his world to have that accomplishment. And that's one of those lifetime achievement things that hangs on the wall and will always mean something to him and to us that he's attained that. We appreciated Dr. Sieverding's good report. John is another example of really a fine instructional leader. Works very well with central office. Anything that we encourage, he jumps on it and does a great job. I have to tell you that you might have noticed that Dr. Walkley was taking notes tonight. Did you notice that?
Yes.
Part of the APPR process. Evaluating the principal. Isn't it wild? I've never seen anything like that in my life. But that's what it is. And it's all good things. We're really pleased to work with John. Our next board meeting is Monday week, December 17th. And at that meeting, right now we're planning a training session for the board on the paperless board meetings, board docs. We're encouraging the board to bring their electronic devices, and we'll have some training going on. If there may be a possibility that it might be a special meeting, but we'll just have some housekeeping chores to do, and we don't expect anything significant to happen other than the training that night, which I think we're all excited about. I know Kelly's nervous about it, but the rest of us are excited about it, so she has to do the heavy lifting. The next regular board meeting is going to be January 14th, and that's going to be at the Middle School across the street, hosted by Cheryl Lazarus. So, and we'll be reminding the board of that. And finally, we'd like everyone to accept our warmest thoughts and best wishes for a wonderful holiday and a very happy New Year.
Do we have any board comments tonight?
Actually, I would like to say something, if I may. Kim mentioned it, and Dr. Sieverding mentioned it. I had the incredible good fortune of participating with the kids in the theater over the weekend. And between the cast and the crew, in excess of 50 kids, ranging in age from 5 and 6 on up to 18, I have never seen a more professional group of kids acting appropriately and putting on an incredible show. And I got to see it from behind the scenes in such a short period of time. And under the direction of Anthony Scarone and PJ Devine, I think that this district made an incredible choice and decision in going forward with these people for our theater. And it showed in the last 2 events that went on. And I can't wait to see the next one. It was 1,000 steps above what we've had in the past. And the kids were thrilled. And it's all about the kids. They had a blast, even the little ones, as Kim said. So I just want to thank them for a great weekend.
Any other comments? I would quickly like to thank Dr. Walkley, Kara Conrad, Dr. Papandrea, Tim Fasheen, and of course Mr. Hilberg for the presentation given to the board on December 3rd at our Education Committee. The information provided in that evening was not easily put together. I think any of us in that room were very well aware of the work. Maybe not quite as aware, but all the same, tremendous amount of work. Took, great amount of time out of your days to prepare for us. And as we enter into the budget season, truly the eye-opening that was needed for us as board members to understand the position where our students are at this time, and where our students can be, right? The steps that they're taking now and the steps that they will take should these processes that are being put into place now continue, the places where our children can be. So I thank you, and the board thanks you for all of the hard work put into putting that meeting together for us and all of the information provided to us. I would also like to thank the Beacon Players for great entertainment on Friday night. I know many of us board members were there to see our theater used. The props alone, right? The props, the sets. I'm not a theater person, but just beautiful to see our children perform. Great event. Congratulations to them, and we look forward to the Wiz in April. Thank you to Dr. Sieverding for his presentation and his tour tonight. He always gives us great information. It's hard to take notes because he gives so much. But I'm sure Dr. Walkley gathered it all. And congratulations to Mr. Romanino, Athletic Director of the Year. That's a well-deserved honor. And to all of our student athletes that were here tonight to be recognized, congratulations to them. Okay, we'll move on to the agenda. Personnel agenda.
Motion to approve the personnel agenda is listed from A to F.
Second?
Is that Georgia? That was Georgia, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's P.
A to P.
Second.
Last is.
I was too busy listening for whose voice that was.
The next one is A to F.
Comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda as follows from A to F.
Second?
Comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Addendum.
Appoint home instructor as listed on the agenda.
Second?
Comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Appoint substitute teacher.
Appoint substitute teacher as listed on the agenda.
Second?
Comments or questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Adjourn meeting.
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second? Comments or questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Everybody have a